Before telling a ghost story in a video, you can say these very short lines in English. This is just a fun story. No one will be harmed. Watch with an open mind. Be careful if scared. Ghosts here are fake. The story may not be true. Keep your lights on. It's only a story. Enjoy the tale. These concise lines set the right tone quickly and respectfully. Whispers of the Haunted Heart. Part 1. Lila stepped off the midnight train, the thick fog licking at her boots as she eyed the silent town ahead. Ravenshore Manor rose beyond the fields, its shadow slicing the moonlight, looking alive with secrets. She carried a single suitcase and a trembling heart, clutching the last letter Elias had sent her, a letter promising answers, love, and something she did not dare name. The road to the manor was silent. On the gate, a crow watched her approach, tilting its head, not cawing, just waiting. As Lila passed through the iron gates, memories flickered. The way Elias wrote, "Our love can break any curse." His handwriting promised warmth, but every step grew colder. Windows of the manor stared back with empty, hungry eyes. Lila's own reflection danced in each glass, sometimes turning into a stranger. The door creaked as she entered. The foyer was filled with broken clocks, ticking, but never in unison. A grandfather clock struck 1, though it was barely after midnight. A Che portrait hung above the stairs. A man's face, shadowed and tragic. Lila thought she saw the lips move, mouthing her name. Her boots echoed down the corridor, each footstep returning as a whisper. She clutched the locket around her neck. Elias's, sent to her the day after he died. Upstairs, the corridor stretched impossibly long. Doors lined the walls, some cracked open, others sealed and humming, as though breathing gently. Room 17 was hers. She touched the brass doorknob, ice biting into her skin, and entered. Inside, Elias sat by the window, his form wavering in the gloom. Lila's breath caught. He was as beautiful as in her memories, only impossibly still. "Lila," he spoke. His voice was wind around broken glass, yet familiar and aching with longing. She rushed to him, reaching out. Their fingers nearly touched, but her hand slipped through his, coldness burning her palm. Elias's eyes brimmed with sorrow. "Why did you come?" he whispered. "Because you called me. Because I love you," Lila replied. Elias lowered his gaze. "This house is my prison. Our love is both the key and the lock." The candle on the table hissed, and for a moment, the two were alone in a world of shadows and hope. Suddenly, a crash echoed downstairs. Lila turned, heart racing, as footsteps hurried up the stairs. But when she looked out, the corridor was empty. She turned back to Elias. "I want to break this curse. Tell me how." Elias shook his head, panic flickering in his eyes. "It is not just me, Lila. There are others. The lost, the jealous, the forsaken. They will never let us be." Lila's courage grew. Love endures anything, even death. Elias's form shimmered, hope and despair battling in his eyes. The clock downstairs started tolling, though it was still night. Each bell sounded closer, louder. Lila sat beside Elias, their conversation stretching till dawn. Memories, promises, regrets, dreams. Around them, the house listened, and the cold grew deeper with every confession. When the sun rose, Elias faded with the mist, leaving Lila alone. Her love and fear becoming the only fire against the dark. Whispers of the Haunted, Heart, Part 2. The morning sun barely touched the edges of Ravenshore Manor when Lila awoke, her heart still heavy from the night's spectral visit. Elias's fading silhouette haunted her every thought, but stronger than grief was a rising sense of urgency. The curse that bound him was alive, and so was the house. But so were others, darker presences, lurking in the shadows of the manor's endless halls. As she descended the grand staircase, a chilling draft swept through the house. The air grew thick with an invisible weight, pressing against her chest like a living thing. From the depths of the manor's forgotten corners, she heard faint whispers, not spoken in any language she knew, but dragging promises of malice and despair. Ihisi, sudden crash echoed through the great hall. Lila spun around to see a heavy candelabrum toppled over, its candles guttering as if snuffed by unseen hands. The portraits lining the walls seemed to shudder, their eyes glinting with jealous fury. In the distance, footsteps approached, slow, deliberate, and not human. Lila's breath caught as a figure emerged from the shadows, cloaked in darkness but unmistakably real. The lost souls of Ravenshore, Elias had warned. But this was something more. The figure's voice was a raspy growl, dripping with years of bitterness. You should not have come, Lila. This place is not yours. Elias belongs to us, his love, his soul. And now, so do you. Lila grasped the locket around her neck, its warmth pulsing, faintly like a heartbeat. The only shield against the creeping cold. Her voice steadied, fueled by a courage born of desperation. I will not leave without him. Love binds us beyond your grasp. The shadowy figure hissed and lunged forward, and the manor itself seemed to groan as darkness consumed the hall. Lila's fight to break the curse was no longer just a battle for Elias's soul, but a fight against the malevolent spirits that would see her lost forever in the haunted heart of Ravenshore. Whispers of the Haunted Heart. Part 3. The shadows that gathered in Ravenshore Manor were no longer just echoes of the past. They were waking forces, restless and vengeful. After the terrifying confrontation in the Great Hall, Lila knew the curse was more complex, threaded with betrayals and secrets older than even Elias had revealed. Days bled into nights as she searched the manor for answers, piecing together faded letters, hidden diaries, and whispered legends. The house seemed to pulse with a dark heartbeat, and every unopened door held a promise or a threat. One evening, as the sun dipped beneath the horizon, Lila found herself drawn to the sealed door at the corridor's end, the one that hummed softly as if breathing. Summoning her courage, she pushed it open. The room was a forgotten sanctuary, filled with relics. An ancient mirror cracked in a jagged spiderweb, a rusted dagger still stained with old blood, and a faded portrait of a woman whose eyes glowed faintly before Lila could step further. A cold wind slammed the door shut. From the mirror's depths, a face emerged. The face of a woman, twisted with sorrow and rage. You dare trespass, she whispered. This is the heart of the curse. Break it, and all will be lost. Lila stepped back, clutching Elias's locket. What do I need to do? The curse feeds on love and betrayal alike, the apparition said. To break free, you must choose. Save Elias and doom yourself, or release him and live with the emptiness. Torn between love and survival, Lila realized the true battle was not just with restless spirits, but with the choices born of sacrifice and heartbreak. As the manor's walls seemed to close in, she made a decision, a fragile hope that love might indeed shatter any curse. If only she dared to believe it. This is the last lesson of the story. Whispers of the Haunted Heart, Part 4. The choice weighed heavily on Lila, the fate of Elias, the curse of Ravenshore Manor, and her own destiny intertwined in a fragile thread. The woman's apparition in the mirror had spoken of sacrifice, and Lila now understood that the darkness was not only a prison, but a test. Determined to break the curse, Lila gathered every scrap of courage. She returned to room 17, where Elias's ghost lingered like a fading ember. "I don't want to lose you," she whispered, "but I'm ready to face whatever comes." Elias smiled, a glimmer of hope shining through the sorrow. "Our love is the key, but the lock can only be undone if you embrace the unknown." That night, beneath the watching eyes of broken clocks and whispering walls, Lila performed a ritual drawn from Elias's letters and the manor's ancient secrets. Shadows swirled, and the house groaned, as if awakening from a long slumber. Suddenly, the darkness coalesced into a storm of spirits. The lost, jealous, and forsaken, surrounding Lila with wailing voices. But her grip on the locket tightened, and love's warmth radiated, pushing back the cold. A brilliant light burst forth, shattering the shadows and the old curses that bound Elias. The manor exhaled, its oppressive weight lifting. Elias's spirit solidified, alive and whole. "You did it," he said, his voice steady and true. Hand in hand, they stepped out into the dawn, the first light of day, breaking through Ravenshore's haunted past. Though scars remained, love had broken the chains, proof that even in darkness, hope endures. This continues the story toward a hopeful and emotional resolution, bringing closure to the curse and the love story while preserving the eerie, supernatural atmosphere established in earlier parts. Let me know if you want further continuation or adjustments. If you liked the story, don't forget to like and subscribe.